This is the AEW WrestleDream 2025 full show results video, which takes place at Chaifetz Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. The show started with an 8-man tag team match between the Conglomeration and Paragon versus the Death Riders. The match began with Strong and Garcia locking up before quick tags in double teams from both sides. Chaos erupted as Ishii and Claudio traded heavy blows, with the Death Riders dominating briefly. Cassidy ignited a comeback, countering Claudio and landing fast-paced moves. Strong and Kyle double-teamed Yuta and Garcia, but Claudio regained control. Ishii stormed in, hitting big moves, but Pac sealed the victory with a running knee on Ishii. The next match happened between Eddie Kingston and Hook versus Frat House. Eddie and Hook dominated early, taking the fight outside before controlling Griff in the ring. Cole's dropkick gave the Frat House brief momentum, but Hook's hot tag turned the tide. Eddie and Hook delivered exploder suplexes, pulled Jack Jameson into the ring, and finished with Eddie's spinning back fist and Hook's Red Rum submission for the win. Big Boom, AJ, and Big Justice hosted a tailgate party in Boca Raton to promote the PPV, promising to bring the Boom at full gear. Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta interrupted, attacked AJ, and mocked Justice, leaving him crying as they walked off. The next match happened between Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. The match began with Ford mocking Cameron before early exchanges led to Nightingale taking control. Ford tagged Bayne, who demanded Nightingale, but the momentum shifted quickly with double-team offense. Bayne overpowered both opponents with a double suplex, and Ford followed with a top-rope moonsault. Nightingale fired up with powerful clotheslines and a pounce, but chaos ensued with rapid counters, DDTs, cutters, and lariats. After Ford's Doomsday Device attempt failed, Nightingale and Cameron regained control. Cameron's pump handle suplex set up Nightingale's Dr. Bomb on Ford, sealing a hard-fought victory. The next match happened between FTR versus Jetspeed. FTR ambushed Knight early, but Jetspeed fought back with high-speed offense and stereo dives. Both teams exchanged non-stop counters, piledrivers, moonsaults, and near-falls galore. Knight survived multiple close calls, breaking Dax's sharpshooter and diving onto Cash. Speedball unleashed a super kick barrage, reversed a superplex, and nearly scored the upset after Dax hit Cash by mistake. In the end, Stokely Hathaway interfered, holding Bailey's foot as Dax countered a suplex into a crossbody pin, giving FTR the controversial victory. The next match happened between Jaime Hayter versus Thekela. The match opened with Jaime Hayter dominating Thekela, unleashing boots, heavy chops, and sending her crashing into barricades and steel steps. Thekela fought back with aerial attacks and targeted Hayter's spine using the ropes. Hayter regained control with right hands, a shoulder tackle, and a suplex, but Thekela countered with top rope strikes and vicious kicks. Both women traded high-impact moves, including Hayter's enzwajiri and knee backbreaker. Thekela was locked in an octopus hold and later a spear for a near fall, but Hayter's ring awareness saved her. After breaking free, Hayter fired up, delivering consecutive Hayter lines that flattened Thekela, securing a hard-fought victory after an intense, physical encounter showcasing resilience and power from both competitors. After the match, Queen Aminata makes her way down the ring to celebrate with Hayter as they hug. Julia Hart and Sky Blue are standing at the top of the ramp, while Thekela is on the floor, looking shocked over the loss. Then we saw a $500,000 match between the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. The match began with Jack Perry and Matt Jackson locking up before chaos erupted between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. Luchasaurus dominated early with power moves and a moonsault to the outside, while Perry thrilled with aerial attacks. The Bucks turned the tide with double-team offense, hitting a powerbomb and near falls. Luchasaurus regained control with chokeslams and a German suplex, while Perry nailed a Canadian destroyer. After a Doomsday Device and TK Driver nearly ended it, the Bucks fired back with super kicks and a BTE trigger. However, Perry survived, and Jurassic Express sealed the victory with the countdown to extinction on Matt Jackson. After the match, Jack Perry gave Luchasaurus the $500,000 bag and offered to help the Bucks up, but before they could respond, the Don Callis family, Josh Alexander, Mark Davis, and Lance Archer attacked Jurassic Express. Kenny Omega arrived to fight them, and despite the Bucks leaving, Perry and Luchasaurus aided him. Omega celebrated with them, honoring Inoki with a sign reading Inoki Forever. Then we saw an AEW World Trios Championship No. 1 Contenders Tornado Trios match between Ricochet and Gates of Agony versus the Hurt Syndicate. The match began with the Demand ambushing the Hurt Syndicate on the ramp. Ricochet and counterattacked MVP while Lashley battled Toa Liona at ringside. Chaos erupted as Benjamin and Ricochet traded big moves, including a spirit gun and moonsault. Gates of Agony punished MVP and Benjamin, while Lashley dominated with clotheslines and a double DDT. After a wild brawl involving dives and table spots, MVP nearly pinned Ricochet before Liona locked Lashley in a Cobra Clutch. Benjamin broke it, leading to Lashley spearing Liona. Count tried saving Ricochet but was booted by MVP and Benjamin, and Lashley sealed the victory with another devastating spear. The next match happened between Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the AEW TNT Championship. The match began with Briscoe and Fletcher locking up before chaos quickly unfolded. Briscoe dominated early with high-flying chair-assisted dives and a froggy bow to the outside. Fletcher turned the tide with a brutal powerbomb onto the steps and a series of suplexes, including a superplex. Both men exchanged heavy strikes and finishers, with Briscoe landing multiple J-drillers and froggy bows, only for Fletcher to survive. After a referee bump, Fletcher hit a low blow and a brainbuster for a near fall. He finished the match by sending Briscoe face-first into the ropes and delivering a devastating top turnbuckle brainbuster to retain the TNT Championship. The next match happened between Kris Statlander versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. The match began with a technical back-and-forth, including collar and elbow tie-ups, head scissors, snap maras, and repeated side headlocks. Toni Storm used shoulder blocks, hip attacks, and high-impact moves to control early, but Kris Statlander countered with a kickflip moonsault off the apron, scoop slams, and body scissors. Both women traded finishers, Vader Bomb, Storm Zero, Blue Thunder Driver, and German suplexes, creating near falls and dramatic counters. Statlander locked in multiple submission holds, forcing Toni to reach the ropes repeatedly. After a grueling exchange of high-impact moves and submission attempts, Statlander finally connected with Saturday Night Fever, following up with a pin to retain the AEW Women's World Championship in a hard-fought, physically intense battle. After the match, Kris Statlander and Toni Storm hugged one another. After the match, Mercedes made her entrance for an open challenge, congratulating Kris Statlander but telling her to leave. Mercedes called for a challenger to risk their title, and ROH Interim Women's Television Champion Mina Shirakawa answered, setting up a high-stakes showdown for the next match. Then we saw a match between Mercedes versus Mina Shirakawa for the AEW TBS Championship and ROH Interim Women's World Television Championship. The match opened with technical exchanges, including dragon screws, spinning toe holds, and figure four leg locks, with Shirakawa targeting Mercedes' legs while Mercedes forced rope breaks to survive. Both traded high-impact moves, Tombstone Codebreaker, Three Amigos, Frog Splash, Snap Suplexes, Sling Blade, and Meteora, creating near falls and constant momentum shifts. Shirakawa locked in multiple submissions, including a cloverleaf and figure four, but Mercedes countered with lung blowers, the Moneymaker, and a sunset flip powerbomb. Late in the match, Mercedes narrowly avoided defeat, hitting a backslide with her foot on the ropes for the pin. Mercedes retained the AEW TBS Championship and claimed the ROH Interim Women's World Television Championship in a hard-fought, highly competitive battle. After the match, Kris Statlander re-emerges from the back. Mercedes then looks to hit a right hand on her, but Statlander intercepts it and hits a Samoan drop on Mercedes. Statlander then holds up her AEW Women's World Championship belt and points at Mercedes, who rolls to the floor. The next match happened between Brodito versus Don Callis family for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The match opened with Okada and Bandito feeling each other out before a chaotic multi-man brawl erupted, including Takeshita, Konosuke, and Brody King. High-impact maneuvers and counters dominated tornillos, top rope ase moonsaults, cannonball sentence, blue thunder drivers, rainmakers, wheelbarrow tombstones, and German suplexes kept the action fast and unpredictable. The champions targeted Bandito's shoulder, limiting his offense, but he repeatedly fought back with desperation strikes, hurricane ranas, and pump kicks. Despite multiple near falls, high-flying spots, and brutal finishers from all six men, Brodito's teamwork prevailed. Bandito landed a 21-plex on Okada for the pin, allowing the champions to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championship after a hard-fought, action-packed encounter. Post-match, Brodito brought a kid wearing a Bandito mask into the front row to celebrate their victory with them. Konosuke Takeshita stares daggers at Okada as he sits slumped, down and out at ringside, Don Callis tending to him, then Brodito does the Macarena together and embraces. Backstage, a distraught Toni Storm sits slumped against road cases, appearing catatonic. Mina Shirakawa arrives, comforting her, reminding her they still have each other. The two embrace, and Storm regains composure, standing to hold Shirakawa in a heartfelt moment. The next match happened between Hangman Adam Page vs Samoa Joe for the AEW Men's World Championship. The match opened with Page and Joe exchanging shoulder tackles and early strikes. Joe gained control, delivering clotheslines, kicks to the spine, and sending Page into the barricade, while attempting an Orihara moonsault. Page countered with a low bridge and shotgun dropkick. Both men traded high-impact moves, including stomps, atomic drops, sentence, scoop power slams, enzwagiris, German suplexes, power bombs, and submission holds. Joe locked in the STF and coquina clutch, but Page fought back, ultimately hitting a buckshot lariat. After a physically intense, back-and-forth contest, Adam Page pinned Joe to retain the AEW World Championship, leaving the audience electrified. After the match, Samoa Joe, joined by Powerhouse Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata, shakes hands with Page. Suddenly, the Opps turn on Page, stomping him relentlessly before leaving him laid out in the ring, as officials rush to check on the champion. We then head to the back, where Mercedes challenges Kris Statlander for her AEW Women's World Championship at Full Gear. In the main event of the show, we saw an I Quit match between Jon Moxley vs Darby Allin. The match opened with chaotic, brutal action as Darby Allin and Jon Moxley traded high-risk moves, including shotgun dropkicks, elbows, Yoshi tonic, and top rope maneuvers. Moxley targeted Allin with chains, skewers, and a stun gun, inflicting extreme punishment. Both men endured weapon attacks, belt whippings, and piledrivers, while allies like Marina Schaffer, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac aided or interfered. Darby displayed resilience, countering threats with coffin drops, elbow strikes, and a scorpion death drop. The bout escalated with a water-filled aquarium, tables, and broken glass. Sting's surprise intervention turned the tide, allowing Allin to capitalize, ultimately forcing Moxley to submit to a scorpion deathlock, giving Darby a hard-fought, violent victory. After the match, Allin celebrates in the ring, and the AEW WrestleDream 2025 comes to a close. How would you rate the AEW WrestleDream 2025 show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.